outside and I'm planning our 2024 winter garden. So here in North Florida, I basically have 3 growing seasons. So from March to July, I grow our warm weather crops, even though it is really hot here. So that is things like squash, zucchini, cucumbers, okra, tomatoes, peppers, eggplant, trying to think of what else I grow. And then in July to August, we pretty much take a break because it is so hot. And in September, we can usually plant another round of tomatoes for a fall tomato harvest. I do not grow a fall tomato harvest. I kind of give my beds a rest. And then in September, I start planting cool weather crops. So I basically grow 2 seasons here. I grow cool season crops from September to March. So September to March, I grow my cool season crops, and then March to July-ish, I grow my warm season crops. So since we are in June and the spring summer garden is starting to come to an end, it is time for me to start planning what varieties and what seeds I need to order for my winter garden. So I grow things in the winter like cabbage, broccoli, collards, bok choy. I'm going to try celery this year for the first time. I'm going to plant carrots again, but I've never successfully grown carrots. Lettuce is one of those things that you grow in the cooler seasons, but I have to wait till like December to plant lettuce or it gets really bitter because we still have some warm weather off and on in October and November. And then I will grow sugar snap peas, and I haven't decided which type of sugar peas. I kind of want to do like an English pea so that we can eat them as peas. I will grow onions and of course garlic again and cauliflower. So every season I draw out a map of all of the raised beds that I have, and what I'll do is I'm actually going to give my in-ground garden a rest for the winter garden, and I'm just going to plant in my raised beds. This above here is last year's setup, and these 2 beds will be new raised beds that my husband is building me in the next month or 2 months. So I will have these 2 new raised beds. They will actually have a cattle panel trellis arch down the entire thing so that I can grow more vining crops. But all of this is currently, the top part of the paper is currently what I'm growing in now. So I draw out, I hand drew this with a ruler. So I hand draw my garden layout and I make copies of it. That way if I mess up, I can just, I have copies of it and I can just start over if I don't want to erase the entire thing. But I will use a pencil to fill all of this in. And as you can see, I've already started filling some of it in. So the next thing that I do is I go through and I make a list. I start researching varieties. I know which varieties I grew last year and did well. If a variety I grew last year didn't do well, then of course I'm not going to try and grow it again this year. UF IFAS is a great resource here in Florida that will help you. It is, I smell so much smoke.
And I see it.
We are so dry here, and I think one of my neighbors is burning, and I cannot believe that they are burning. Like, our grass is brown and patchy, and we thought we smelled smoke earlier, and now I smell it again. So now I am a little bit panicked that somebody has started a fire. Okay, anyway, we walked around and checked all of our barns and our fields in our house to make sure it wasn't our property, because I'm like really freaked out right now about somebody tossing out a cigarette butt or something and the whole place going up in flames. But anyway, I can't believe somebody would light a fire right now. I go through and I make a list of the varieties that I plan on growing this year based off of what I grew last year and the research that I have done to try and find more varieties. I love the UF IFAS website because they have tested all of those varieties. And of course, I also like trying new varieties from places like Baker Creek. Baker Creek sells a ton of fun varieties of things. Sometimes they don't necessarily grow very well here. So I don't like to make my entire garden from Baker Creek, but I do like to try some of the newer varieties. Like I'm going to try the Chinese cabbage, not Chinese cabbage, Chinese broccoli this year from Baker Creek, and I actually already have those seeds, so I'm going to try that from Baker Creek. The main place that I order seeds from is High Mowing Seeds. They tend to have more of the varieties that I use here, so I can place one order and save on shipping by placing most of my order through High Mowing Seeds. Now, I am not a seed snob. I do not mind buying seeds at places like Dollar Tree, Lowe's, Home Depot, Walmart, Tractor Supply. Two of my other favorite online places to buy seeds is Florida Seed. It's just flseed.com, I think is the website, but if you just do Florida Seed, it should come up. And then another great place to buy seeds is Dollar Seed. Everything is typically $1, and all of those seeds have done very well for me. And then occasionally I have to go to places like Amazon to buy seeds because I just can't find them. And then of course you get your free shipping if you have Amazon Prime. So I have bought seeds through Amazon. I just highly encourage you to read the reviews on Amazon Seeds. They sell a variety called So Right seeds, and those have done really well for me. And then there's one other brand that I buy off of there, but they have done really well as well. So this was my summer garden, and as you can see, like I said, I am adding the 2 raised beds here, and I added this one right before growing season, so it wasn't even on my scheduled plan. But these will be the 2 new raised beds that my husband builds me this year. So this is kind of an overview of like what it'll look like once I get it all filled out. And then I just take this around with me while I'm planting my garden, and I know what goes where and what I've planned. So I keep a notebook, and this is kind of how I started, and then I've gone through and kind of decided different varieties than what I originally started with. So we're just going to rewrite that. This is my winter 2024 garden. And then I'm going to grow cabbage. And the 2 varieties that I have decided on. So this is the next thing you're going to want to do. You need to figure out what seeds you have left from last year and what seeds you're going to need to purchase. I have to find where I have the cabbages in here. I see my broccolis. I think, let's see, broccoli, and my cabbage seeds are in here. Cauliflower, broccoli. I am not growing Brussels sprouts this year. I've tried for 3 years and they just do not, I can grow them and get lots of Brussels sprouts on them, but they just don't do very well for me. So cabbages this year, I'm going to grow the Bronco and the Copenhagen. I have tons of Copenhagen seeds, and I'm pretty sure the Bronco is available. Yes, the Bronco F1 right here. We're going to order from High Mowing Seeds. So I already have the Copenhagen, and then I will go online and order the Bronco. So I'm going to put a check mark above the Copenhagen so that I know I already have it. And then I'm going to add broccoli. I always spell broccoli wrong. I can't remember if it has 2 C's and 2 L's or what in the world. So I already have all of my broccoli seeds. I have the Waltham 29 and the De Seco. Both of these I have grown before and they do insanely well. And then I am going to grow the Chinese broccoli from Baker Creek. It's like a long broccoli with a little head, so it's more like the stalk than the head of the broccoli, like the other varieties. So I'm excited about that one. And then Chinese. I told you, I always make it 1 C and 2 L's for some odd reason, and I have that as well. And then we will put these in here. Then I am going to grow collard greens. And I always grow the Georgia collard greens, and then this year I'm going to add in the Champion. And I think for collard greens, I'm gonna have to, nope, they have the Champion and the Georgia both available at High Mowing, so we will order those as well. Excuse me. Then I'm going to grow bok choy. I don't think that I have any more bok choy seeds. I don't even know it's lettuce. It's collards, but not a variety that I plan on growing this year. Yeah, I need to order. I try to organize them like cool season crops and then warm season crops. So bok choy, I haven't even researched varieties for bok choy yet. I think I usually grow baby bok, and I think I got it from Baker Creek as well. Celery, I am growing the Tango variety. Y'all have to excuse my, I don't know if y'all can hear them. And I'm growing the Tango variety, so it will be purchased from High Mowing Seeds. And then carrots, I already have a ton of carrot seeds. And actually, a lot of them are these coral carrots that Baker Creek sends for free. Like I said, I am not a carrot grower. I am not good at growing carrots. I've never even gotten a single carrot to sprout. So I'm going to use all the free ones that I have. So all these corals. I have the Danver 126, which is a suggested variety. I have the Imperator 58, Danvers again, and Chantenay. I don't even know where these came from. Friends give me seeds all the time because they'll want to start a garden and then they decide that they can't grow a garden, and so they give me their seeds. So then I have sugar snap peas. I have a ton of the sugar snap peas that I saved from my early spring growing of sugar snap peas. So I will reuse those, and then I'm going to research some other pea varieties and kind of decide what of those I need to add. I want to do an English pea. So the three varieties that High Mowing has available are the Laxton's, Progress, PLS 595, and the Green Arrow. And so I'm going to have to research each of those to decide which English pea I am going to grow up all of those trellises that I am adding in onions. So here in Florida, we have to grow short day onions, meaning that they grow when the days are shorter. And I am going to grow the Texas Early White and the Texas Super Sweet. I've never grown either one of these varieties. They come highly recommended from Dixondale. Dixondale is where I will order the onions from. They currently aren't available for order because they do them off pre-orders, and then they ship them when they are ready for you to plant. So I love Dixondale for onions. I ordered all of my onions last year from somewhere else, and I was not pleased with them at all. So I'm going back to using Dixondale, and I'm going to try these Texas Early White and the Texas Super Sweet this year. Garlic, I always order garlic from King Garlic, and the two varieties that I grew last year are not available this year. So again, I'm going to have to try a couple of different varieties this year, and I actually placed my King Garlic order this morning. It is the same as the onion orders. It is a pre-order, and so I order now, and they will ship to me in, I think it's October is when I got them last year, September, October, to plant in October, November. I love ordering from Keene, and the reason that I think it's so important to go ahead and start planning your fall/winter garden is because a lot of places like Keene and Dixondale do the pre-orders for fall, and so you want to get in on those pre-orders before they're sold out. So I am doing the early Italian, the California white, and then a friend grew the, I'm going to probably butcher this, but in Chilean red, and she had a lot of success with that variety this year, so I'm going to grow it as well. Garlic here in Florida, we have to start, I actually put mine in the refrigerator for 2 to 3 weeks because it needs that extended amount of cool for it to form the cloves, and sometimes we don't get that much cool weather here in Florida, so it's important that we plant the garlic early. And of course, like I said, we'll cold stratify it in the refrigerator before we plant it out to the garden. I plant my garlic in the fall and let it get nice green heads, and then heavy mulch it before that super cold winter hits here. And I say super cold, and y'all are gonna make fun of me, but like 40-degree weather hits here. And then again in the spring, it will go ahead and come back. And that seems to be the method that works best for me here. I have never grown cauliflower. I have some cauliflower seeds left from last year, and so those are just what I am going to grow. I actually don't even eat cauliflower, but my husband does. And so I will be growing the cauliflower for him and my stepson. So that is a basic rundown of everything that I plan on growing this year. So then once I have gone through my seeds, decided which varieties I am growing, we will go inside and we will order these seeds off of the High Mowing Seeds website that we need. Now it is time for me to fill in my garden chart with what we are growing. So this is my onion and a broccoli bed. So I just rotate, I do a row of onions and then a row of 3 broccoli plants. They seem to fit really well 3 across in my beds. My beds are 4 by 16. So I just alternate a row, onion desico, onion desico, onion desico, onion waltham, onion waltham, onion waltham. And then the same thing in this long bed, but I do it garlic and cabbages. So I'm going to go garlic and the Bronco. And I kind of square foot garden still in my winter beds, but I do 3 across instead of the 4 across for cabbages, just because it gets crowded if you do the 4 across for cabbage. So, and then I'm doing Copenhagen cabbage in here as well. This table is this will just kind of give me an idea of how many plants when I start my seeds indoors I need to fill up these beds. This entire bed is going to be full of Georgia collards and the champion collards. And I'm not going to interplant them with anything. And then this next bed, I'm going to alternate cauliflower. And I don't know. But I know I gotta grow cauliflower over here. These 3 small beds are where I typically grow carrots, lettuce when it's time. And I didn't even go over which varieties of lettuce that I grow. And then bok choy. I'm going to try and find a slow bolting bok choy to grow here, because last year my bok choy seemed to bolt because we had such hot days in between our super cold days. The bok choy bolted insanely fast. I need a place to plant celery, so I'm thinking I will grow celery right here in the front of this bed. So this is my trellis that I will grow the snap peas on, or here. And then, like I said, I should have cattle panel trellises all right here. So if we get that done before the winter, then I can grow them down there as well. So that's where I'll grow all the peas, is on the trellised areas. And then that just leaves me with more lettuce. I have tons of lettuce seeds, and I just kind of chaotically plant lettuce. I got these tennis ball lettuce that I'm really excited about, and then these my kids got for free somewhere. This was a free Merlot seed. I do not like red lettuces at all. Like I said, I have tons. These came from Dollar Seed. No clue where all these lettuces came from. This is a Dollar Seed. I think you get these for free. The lettuce oak leaf. Arugula. Forgot to have arugula. I love arugula. But I just kind of mix these all together and then spread them wherever they will go. Oh, I have spinach. I need to plant spinach. There's some celery seeds. Oh, celery seeds, the ones that I'm buying, they are the ones that are coated to make them bigger and easier for you to plant. And I kind of thought about reordering carrots that way as well, and hoping that maybe that might solve some of my carrot starting issues. But I will plant lettuces in these too. And like I said, I just chaotically spread lettuce. Like I just put it in my hand and fling it and pray for the best. These are all my pollinator gardens, and so I'm hoping that they kind of remain with some pollinators throughout the season. And I don't want to have anything planted in these, because some of the seeds I throw out before the end of the season for pollinators, because I direct sow them so that they get that cold stratification from our few cooler months, like the bachelor's buttons. And they might have seeds that have already dropped to the ground from this year's garden, and I don't want to disturb that top layer of soil and the seeds that are already naturally going to come back next year. So I think this is pretty much my winter garden. So for cabbage, we're going to go the Bronco and the Copenhagen, broccoli, Waltham 29, the Seco, and the Chinese broccoli, collards, Georgia and Champion, bok choy. I'm going to look in the, I think it must have fallen. Oh no, it's under here. Duh. I'm going to look in the high mowing seeds. Here, we can do that together. Let's see, A, B, and find I must have skipped it. Where's the bok choy? Do they not sell bok choy here? Okay, so they must not sell bok choy at high mowing, so I will have to go to crazy. Okay, we will go to Baker Creek. Like I said, this is where I got the Chinese broccoli, and see, it's more of a stem with just a smaller head. This is the borage that I love to grow. So we're gonna have to read through all these bok choys. I thought about growing this baby one. I don't know if it is a slow bolting. This 50-day choy sum, which it looks completely different than a bok choy. It kind of looks more like the Chinese broccoli, but they said it's slow bolting. And so I'm gonna have to read through all of these different bok choys and figure out which ones are slow bolting to plant here in Florida. So we'll read through that and I will decide which bok choy. I didn't realize there were so many options to grow here in Florida. And then I have to figure out which English pea I'm going to grow. I will order onions as soon as they are available. I have my email plugged in so that they will send me the email notification so that I can order both of those. Garlic I already have ordered, and I'm just going to use the cauliflower seeds that I already have. There is a pretty cool cauliflower though that I thought about growing. and I'm sure y'all have seen it. I thought about growing this Romanesco cauliflower. But like I said, I don't even like cauliflower, so I don't even know if I would like that one. But I thought about trying the Romanesco, and I think I'm going to. I'm going to add it to my... Gotta grow something crazy every now and then. Anyway, so we will try the Romanesco cauliflower as well. But that's pretty much how I go through and I plan my gardens, is just based off of notes that I took last year. Another thing that I do that's super helpful is anytime you get any plants that have a tag, like this is the garlic that I grew last year, I put it in these clear folders in the back. That way it's easy for me just to go and flip through and say, hey, what did I grow? Which onions did I grow? Which garlic did I grow? And then that's easy for me to keep up with as well. And then in the front of this, I have my blank garden grid. So if I need to make copies of the garden because I messed this one up, then I can save that as well. And then when it's time for me to plant, I just put this on my little clipboard and I go to town planting and take this all around my garden to make sure that I get everything in the right areas. And I also keep notes of all of this in my phone. I hope that that was helpful for some of you. If you have any questions about why I chose these varieties or anything like that, or if I've grown one before and it did well or not, then absolutely reach out to me. I know that our Florida growing seasons are kind of different from everywhere else. And so I am hoping that I am helping someone in North Florida try and differentiate how we plant here as opposed to our people in the northern states who are currently planting these things right now, because it is vastly different here than possibly anywhere else. So just let me know if you guys have questions.